Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Fallout New Vegas. I'm beginning to sound like a broken record, but I am also playing a broken game in Fallout New Vegas, so the game crashed again at the end of the last episode as we were entering this workshop. I don't know if the dog is literally barking at me because I'm wearing a helmet or a hat. So I'm not sure what this whole workshop is all about. It seems like it's part of HH Tools, and there seems to be some story to HH Tools, but we don't really know what it is.
Hi, what can I do for you?
Let's see.
You saw our front sign, didn't you? This is where all the beautiful signs of the strip become a reality. It all comes from Michelangelo's imagination. We do a little work here and there too, sure, but he's the real artist.
Who is Michelangelo?
He's the reason the strip shines like a star at night. Mike's imagined and built every sign, billboard, and light you'll see around here. Check out the back of the shop. He's usually working there. I've been here over a year now, though I'm not one to get tired for long. I plan to roam the wasteland once I'm ready. The people need light and kindness. There's too much fear and pain out there already.
Interesting. Kate almost feels like an important character, but she doesn't have enough dialogue to feel like a
He's the reason
important character. So she must play a bigger role later. I still hate how these Bethesda games just decide that this is stealing sometimes and sometimes it isn't. Why not make me pay one cap to buy the vending machines, or old world currency to buy drinks from the vending machines if you want to? So we now know who makes all the neon signs and everything like that. And here we have an example of a very clean factory design area, which parallels some of the clean rooms we've seen in the casinos. It would make more sense, particularly for this case, if the factory was further off the strip, because they definitely aren't designing it in such a way that you would actually believe the strip is self-sustaining and that it's growing its own food and has a source of water. Let's see, if we were to activate the workbench, can we even craft anything? We can do that, and that's it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and steal this billboard schematic. And let's see. We've actually stolen a couple of schematics recently, and I don't think we are likely to ever have the items we would need. And that billboard schematic itself may very well be more of a quest item than a item that I can actually use to craft things with. I wouldn't be surprised if there's just somebody that's gonna try and hire me to sabotage him. We have a very big piece of machinery. Here's Michelangelo.
Oh, hello, I am Michelangelo. How can
I was half expecting robot.
Wait, are you here to deliver more billboard requests? Please tell me you're not a messenger on behalf of Mr. House.
Let's see, speech 40 lie.
Because spending myself to the edge of artistic oblivion for Mr. House sums up my existence since I had to leave Vault 21. That's why. Most people don't understand what it means to grow up in a vault. Its corridors, its walls, radiate a warmth that feels safe, honest. But here, everything is huge and threatening. so empty that I think one of these days I'll just snap. I feel haunted by something terrible. Working in such a huge workshop often makes me shiver. I can't even leave the strip. Yes, I think so. But please, keep quiet about it. Without inspiration, I'm as good as a tumbleweed drifting in the barren wasteland.
So we have a medicine we can do.
Ah, an educated fellow. Now that is almost as rare as artistry. So, how can you help me regain my inspiration?
Several years of psychoanalysis and a few thousand caps a month will fix you. I know a guy in Freeside really good at trepanation. You'd be amazed how he grow up hair and go out in the real world to find your inspiration. They could escort you into the wasteland. It's not so bad. Let's see.
Thank you for the offer, but I think I really can't go to see... Wait a minute. I know, I don't have to necessarily be there to see it. Yes, that's it. I have a camera. It is old, but it should work.
This is crazy if they're going to give me a
Images
camera
of
mechanic.
inspiring landmarks. I've always wanted to see the dinosaur and its thermometer sign at Novak. Then there's the famous Bison Steve sign. The McCarran Airfield and the Helios 1 power station signs are of much interest to my work. Like the Sunset Sarsaparilla headquarters bottle. Thank you. I really can't thank you enough for this. Please, get me all the pictures. I'll compensate you accordingly. Oh, and if you need more camera film, then just come back and I'll get it for you. Again, thank you.
So, they straight up have added a camera ability. That, why not give me that way earlier in the game?
Aha.
So he won't talk to me any further.
Hey.
And then we have an assistant
Excuse
here.
me, but I'm busy.
So, I don't know why there was a power switch we could activate. We took Mintats to pass a perception check. Earlier. Dog is just sitting here. Which implies to me that there are some places where the dog has just been programmed to stay. So for this quest, I think I could probably do all of them except the Bison Steve sign. I don't know where that is. But the world map would probably tell me. Oh, it's in Prim. Okay. So yeah, we can do all of those. Just fast traveling. As a side quest. So it definitely feels like though you would have been hired to take that kind of that would have been a faster, a much earlier experience. And then there's just a whole NCR station here, which I wasn't really expecting there to be an NCR station
We won't go
inside
quietly.
of New
The Legion can
Vegas.
count on that.
Let's see what's behind the military police headquarters.
Honored to speak with you, man.
Seems like there may very well be nothing here. Just maybe a couple of people who could get arrested. And if this is anything like Skyrim, maybe you would get arrested and maybe this would be where you would end up getting thrown. It's fairly easy in Skyrim to end up getting arrested. Have it happen at least once. And at this point, I'm so far into the game, I'm just not willing to be patient to see if I would get the key to these buildings, and frankly, getting the key isn't worth it anyways, because then I won't get the experience. Maybe the move here is to hack into the computers and testing. Tells us force cracked. So do we have anything that ends in ing? No. Resting would be way too many. Wishing is way too few. It's one too few. So, and limited would be totally wrong. So we're on the left side now. Rating is one too few. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. I've seen them all. What shares 4 letters in common? I was assuming it was ing. But I don't think it actually is ing. Because ing would be 3 letters, it says 4 are correct. Rating wouldn't work in that point. Limited wouldn't be right. Wishing. Oh, wishing has to be it. Yep. The S was in the same place. You'd think with every one of these nodes, you would get a small quest that would show up on your map, but that did absolutely nothing. Unless there was actually something to read, and then you had to just follow up having read those things. And so the NCR embassy might have Kimball in it, which
Hello.
We've heard of Kimball, but we haven't actually met him.
Welcome to the NCR embassy. How can I help you?
Wasn't expecting her to be in a unique dress outfit.
The embassy offices are to your left, while the barracks and living quarters are to the right. If you're looking for a history lesson, I suggest you talk to Ambassador Crocker.
So, this isn't going to take me to Kimball, it's going to take me to an ambassador.
I don't have time to give my life story to everyone that passes through. Is there something I can actually help you with? Ambassador Crocker can be found in his office. Ma'am?
It's very interesting to have her stand out so much compared to all the other NCR characters in the brown armor. Color palette and color balance wise, you can see how the dark browns of the rest of the room very sharply contrast to her pale white skin. She looks alright when you don't have the flashlight on, but she still stands out quite a bit compared to him who's mostly in the dark. Let's see. He said his office was on the right, so...
My buddies at Camp McCarran are breathing easy now that the Fiend's leader is dead.
People just talking.
I'm glad you could make it. I have something I wanted to discuss with you. It's a very important matter, and I have a strong feeling you're the perfect person for the job.
So, we were given a request to talk to this ambassador as we're approaching the end of the Legion versus NCR war. Take note that his fingers are not positioned correctly on the keyboard.
I'm sure you've noticed that things are a little tense around here with all the issues between the NCR, the Legion, and Mr. House. It doesn't take a genius to see that something big is going to happen soon. To be honest with you, the NCR is in a tight spot. But if we fail now, it's the people here that are going to suffer the most. I'm not willing to let that happen, and I don't think you're the kind of person that would either.
We're gonna listen to him. Hopefully that doesn't commit us to anything.
To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. I would like you to get in contact with them, and then do whatever it takes to convince them to help us.
Already done it.
The boomers keep to themselves and are, let's say, hostile to all outsiders. That's why I need someone like you. Someone with your background and reputation would have a better chance of reaching them than anyone I have available. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks. Do you think you would be able to do this for me? That's excellent news. So they'll help us, right? Let me know as soon as you have an answer from them. Interested in politics, huh? Well, grab a seat and get comfortable.
A lot of
I've been
dialogue
in
here.
politics quite a while now. Always had the drive to...
Let's skip some of this.
I managed President Kimball. I was a... Now, that's it. I hope you've... Let... I can... In 2270...
Pretend like we actually care.
And that... The treaty... The remain... Once on... Our troops...
This is downright just a joke. Talking to the ambassador. And I don't suspect you're going to get a perk or
It's the same old stuff. If you want more information,
any kind of achievement.
I always have time.
Right. We will play a game of Caravan. Still not really sure how you play, and I have no idea what a Joker does. See, I don't know why a Jack of the same suit would eliminate something. Let's try this. Will Queen of the same suit eliminate that? No. So I just helped him. Let's see. What should we play? This game still just does not make any sense at all. Gwent deserves a lot of praise. See if a Joker does anything there. Joker is worth 10 apparently. Yeah, Gwent deserves, I think, a lot of praise for doing a very decent job of explaining how you play, and actually being a game worth playing. This caravan here very much feels like a gimmick. That I don't think I would ever really grow to enjoy. What would happen if we were to discard a track, right track? Just discard that completely. Okay. Still seems very unplayable. What am I doing wrong? If we were to discard a track, can we discard another track? No. Is this something about matching? Do you have to match the suits or match the numbers? Maybe that's the trick. Right, well, if you have to match the suits, then that should work. If you have to match the numbers, if you can match the numbers. Heart, heart, heart. So there does seem to be a challenge around losing it at Caravan. So here's Kimball, and I just question whether we're actually going to ever see Kimball or not. Susan Edith's final report. Can we hide and figure out what this is? If there's anything of value, seems to be in here. Although that may be monetary value. For all we know, there might be something more valuable in here. Frankly, bobby pins are something that could become fairly valuable if you're not careful.
Hey.
Just talk to her.
Patrolling the... Welcome back. What can I do for you this time?
the captain. Let's talk to her.
I wanted to thank you for stopping the Omertas. That could have gone poorly for us if it wasn't for you. Yeah, more the usual. We're keeping an eye on the troopers to make sure they don't do anything stupid. Yeah, the only stupid one we've had lately is Private Irwin. He's starting to cause more trouble than he's worth. Not much to tell. Keeping the troopers in line and monitoring the strip keeps me busy. It's my job, and I'm gonna do it well. Now, Crocker isn't too bad. He mostly stays in his office now. If you have any questions about the Bye.
So no new quests from that. Now I must have misheard her because I thought she said that the ambassador's office was on the right side. I guess it was turned to the left and then the door on the right. Nothing particularly special there. And then seems like there's probably
The security lapse with the monorail is a huge
just a
embarrassment.
focus here on giving beds to every single possible.
My buddies at Camp Karen are breathing easy now that the Fiend's leader is dead.
Still finding more of these strip letters. Far too much of this game is just a hidden object search experience with none of the optimizations you would expect from a hidden object game. Yeah. Every single AI in the game must have a bed, must have a toilet. A lot of pre-war books. Rex is just clipping through the walls. Yeah, unless we found somebody though that wanted pre-war books, the best I could do is get the perk that would copy pre-war books into magazines and then sell the magazines. And I don't even have anybody that actually pay extra for magazines.
Hey, I tell you, something stinks about this monorail attack.
I don't think there's a way. I'm gonna be permanently hidden. Nothing particularly too important, I think, in any of this.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
And here we have Private Irwin.
I heard you stopped the Omerta's plan to attack the strip. Good job, you're a real hero. Us troopers mostly come to the strip for our R&R. We blow off some steam by gambling, drinking,
I should have the
partying,
flashlight
fighting.
on.
If you're looking for a good time, I'd suggest hitting up Gamora. What have you heard? I know people think I'm a little on the wild side, but I'm just trying to have fun, you know? Just because I happen to get into fights and like to pull pranks doesn't mean anything. He's a little stiff and stuffy. Doesn't leave the office. I've always wanted to play a prank on him, but there's no way I could ever pull that off without getting in trouble from Cap. Yeah, I got a few ideas that I'm working on. Maybe I'll let you in on it once I have something. Now, she may be a bit of a hard ass, but she's the best damn captain we've had here. I'd be careful around her. Bring it on, buddy.
So here's a question. If we were to try and play Caravan, is there a way to just autoplay? I think that would work pretty well. If we're going to make a game like this, it's just autoplay it. In that way, you don't have to really learn anything or think about anything. So jacks seem to be special, so you probably want more jacks. And it seems like the move is definitely to match suits. So if you could make a deck that had only 3 suits, or if you could make a deck that had only 1 suit, it'd actually be golden. Then the cards would work on every roll. It also doesn't seem like you actually have to always match a suit that is on top of it. Maybe you can match suits that are on the left and right. Or maybe there's something even special about the fact that I just played a 6, a 6, and a 6 on the second row. Okay. I still feel very much like I don't understand this though. $26 is doable. I didn't realize 26 is doable. No telling what a Joker is supposed to match. Let's see. Joker there seems to give me a 2 and seems to have moved cards all around, reducing my overall score. So I don't know if that was a good play. I'm confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing here. Why is a face card not giving me 10 now? Well, I won, and I just got an achievement that seems like about 6% of players did, which is to win 3 hands of Caravan.
Well, look who it is. Glad to have you here, buddy. What can I do for you?
And then there's also an achievement for finishing and losing 3 Caravan games. I'm not gonna do that all at this time, but yeah. I think when you see that less than 10% of your player base has won 3 games of your card game, you pretty much have great evidence that that was a waste of development time.
You should see this place at night.
And the thing is, only a few companies have made good card games since even this game was originally released. And that would have been many, many years ago. Like, you have, at best, like Hearthstone, and then maybe Yu-Gi-Oh!, Shadowverse, Magic the Gathering Arena, and that's pretty much it. sure would be nice if this wall went down at some point. But yeah, you don't.
What's a mutant doing in the strip?
Interesting that forced a conversation.
What's a mutant doing in the strip?
The super mutants under control, I hope?
I knew those cons couldn't be trusted.
So there is a whole building on the backside of this. There's just no entrance to that building. Yeah. I don't understand what even storyline wise make how you would really explain these barriers. Like to just break up the strip. Magazine vending machines. Wow. So these could have been all over the world and they just aren't. Quest wise, we have the picture quest, but I think it is definitely time to do the House Always Wins and talk to Mr. House at Lucky 38.
Did you know the strip's all stirred up lately?
So can we get into Lucky 38 on this side? No, you really can't. You have to go through a load and then talk to, I think, not at home. Nope, that's Victor.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again. Boss is waiting for you upstairs, so get a move on. I see you brought some friends. Sorry, partner, but they're gonna have to stay outside. Come back soon now.
So the door is opening up, maybe for the first time in a very long time. Those two are staying outside. Now we are gonna figure out what makes us so special. Mr. House decided to actually talk to us directly. And from the looks of it, nothing would really be stealing here. So we could see if we turn on the flashlight, see if that is necessary. Looks like we can just look at the Lucky 38 casino and probably find that it is devoid of anything too important. A whole bunch of pre-war money, possibly a whole bunch of valuable items. We can take the drugs and turn them in at the old Mormon fort. Take bobby pins for sure. I assume that there's supposed to be a level of spookiness here, and that the entire casino may have just been evacuated or cleansed of humans. Notice how all of those 3D models popped up as soon as I picked up the caps around them. Same thing. Very common glitch in the Gamebryo Bethesda style games. And these glitches are kind of unique to Gamebryo Bethesda style games. I'm not sure I can even name another type of game that isn't made from a Bethesda subsidiary that has this common glitch. it's so consistent though. You definitely would have thought that they would have fixed it, but I bet it doesn't happen at lower resolutions. I would suspect it is 100% tied to the resolution of the game, which would imply that the game is not running particularly at a base resolution and then being scaled up as far as how the physics work, but it is instead running at whatever the selected player's resolution is. Definitely are getting unique ghostly sound effects. We will take all the sunset sarsaparillas. We'll take all the Nuka-Colas. Take the golden gloves and the boxing times. Interesting. It's not really worth it to take the whiskeys. You would think that it would have been evacuated very quickly if people are just leaving pre-war money. And I assume this is going to be just a really, really small casino. And that this is all about talking to Mr. House and only talking to Mr. House. And we may never get any caps or any chips to play any slot machines or gamble. If they were really ambitious, you might have a path in which you can restore the Lucky 38. And then you could be a casino boss. But I don't think that's where they're going with it as far as the story goes. There aren't even a lot of Securitrons around. I think that would probably make it a little bit more creepy. I'm glad we can jump over a few things, even though this very much is not a jumping game. Looks like there might be a secret door behind this. I don't know how you would move it, though. Buffalo gourd seeds. Yeah, if there was a button somewhere, that would be my expectation, is that there would be a button. That would open up this path. Does the local map agree with the idea that there's something back there? Not really. Empty cash register. Just a ton of items. Floating beer. This is another great point to really criticize and just compare as far as, is this how a level should be designed? Does it make sense to fill a room with a whole bunch of vendor trash and then have no people to talk to or no quests to accomplish? Yeah. So yeah, that's supposed to be creepy. And with the internal brightness levels being so low, there is a level of creepiness there. We can see some blood, but not really a lot. And then here we go.
Where to, partner?
Penthouse, I guess. And just a load screen.
Penthouse floor.
So Victor takes us to a penthouse. And we have curtains as an experiment. And we've got some that seem like non-functional Securitrons. Medical clipboards, finance clipboards look exactly the same to me. Is it really necessary for your game to have two different types of clipboards? We have a bed and decorations. So is this what our house is going to be? Is that this is our penthouse view across the wasteland? Not much of a view out of that window. It's not a terrible thought. Can we decorate each of these items, each of these statues? So here's Mr. House. Just a computer program. We'll deal with that in a second.
Goodbye.
Let's see. Who's Jane?
You should have seen Mr. House when he heard what you did to the Omertas. He was as giddy as a schoolboy. I'm Jane, one of Mr. House's girls. We keep him entertained. We don't get many guests lately. Perhaps we can entertain you as well. Oh, there's lots of things to tell, I'm sure. There's the 3 families, the casinos, the other attractions. What would you like to know?
Let's just ask everything.
Money, sugar. They might pretend they're sophisticated, but between you and me, they're not far off from tribals. Emeritus especially are just awful brutes. The chairman and the White Glove Society at least pretend to have some culture. Well, of course, there used to be a lot more of them. But these days, there are 3 open to the public. The Tops, the Ultra Lukes, and Gamora. And the Lucky 38, of course.
Ultra
We're not
Lukes?
open to the public. You're a special case, sugar.
Should be Ultra Lux. Yep.
Well, let's see. The NCR has an embassy here, but why you'd want to go talk to a bunch of boring old politicians, I surely don't know. Oh, and the Vault 21 Hotel and Gift Shop has an adorable collection of old Vault-Tec memorabilia. And I suppose if you like neon signs, you might check out Michelangelo's sign shop. Anything you like, sugar?
It would make a lot more sense if you were forced to do this quest much earlier in the gameplay and in a much more linear experience.
Why,
We're getting a lot of base
maximum
information.
utmost. If it weren't for Mr. House, we wouldn't have this fabulous
Over and over
wonderland in New
again.
Vegas, would we? Well, of course I am, silly. Mr. House is just the smartest, most wonderful man there ever was. Why, did you know he single-handedly reclaimed New Vegas from all those nasty tribes that used to live here? Well, he single-handedly sent in his Securitrons to do it, but that counts in my book. Sugar, I may be a robot on the outside, but on the inside, my neurocomputational matrix is an exact copy of Mr. House's favorite girl. Mr. House has a lot of needs, sugar. I take care of all of them, and a lady doesn't kiss and tell. Then maybe you shouldn't pry. Anything you like, sugar. This is the Lucky 38 Resort and Casino. Or it used to be. Mr. House has kept the place locked up tight for ages now. Nobody comes in or out. Why, I'm a Robco PDQ 88B Mark I Securitron, you silly goose. We're the finest in personal civil robotic security on the market. Not many people know this, but Mr. House is one of the world's biggest collectors of antique snow globes. If you happen to find any out in the wasteland, you can bring them to me, and I'll add them to his collection. You'll get a reward, of course. In fact, one of Mr. House's favorites went missing when we moved the collection. If you have a look around the Lucky 38, you might even find it.
Okay. So let's find that snow globe collection and see what it looks like before we turn in anything. Now, in Fallout, the other Fallout games, you would expect the snow globes to be the equivalent of bobbleheads and that they would give you a +1 on your special stats. But I looked it up online and it seems to me that you're only going to get 2,000 caps for the snow globe, which is not that much. It definitely feels like you could have made a much more interesting vista view outside these windows. But then the wasteland itself is just not that interesting, I guess. So we're looking for a snow globe. What does this terminal do? Open the antechamber. I don't know what the antechamber is, so I'm not going to open it. See, this looks like Mr. House, but maybe there is a body somewhere that Mr. House is still living in. Where's the snow globes? I feel like it's probably somewhere pretty obvious and I'm just not looking in the right direction. Where could the snow globes be? It could be on the shelf. Sure. I suspect it's supposed to go on that table. Let's just turn them in and see if they show up on that table.
Well, hello, sugar. You do?
So that gives me 10,000 bottle caps.
I'll take them and put them with the rest of the collection.
It gives us a massive amount of caps with still not really enough if you're going to do Gunrunner's Arsenal to just buy guns willy-nilly. These snow globes did not end up there. So we'll try and use our scanning, see if we can find it. Let me check the local map. It must be in the antechamber. It's the only thing that would make sense. It's just in an area we haven't seen yet. Alright, well, there's no beating around the bush anymore. We need to talk to the House. Mr. House, not to be confused with Dr. House. So he definitely gives off kind of an Andrew Ryan appearance and look to him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has that same kind of Ayn Randian libertarian mentality. He may very well just have an might makes right mentality or an intelligence makes right mentality. Here we can see cameras all over the wasteland. And he probably is going to give me a quest to turn on even more.
The point of my inviting you to visit me here at the Lucky 38 before stomping into the tops on your own was to help you prepare tactically. Now, because of your carelessness, Benny has fled the strip, taking with him the platinum chip.
Let's see. Let's go with the first one and we'll just see if we can go down to all of these.
His destination is hardly a mystery. It's a near certainty that he's making his way for Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill. It's one of just 2 places on Earth that have the hardware necessary to read the platinum chip. The Lucky 38 is the other, of course. And whose idea was it to offer yourself up as a sacrificial lamb? Really? What did you expect? Are you going to keep giving him opportunities to kill you? It's becoming a hobby of his.
Here's the question. Do I want to tell him about the hijack? Let's go with what do I do next?
I won't lie to you. It'll be dangerous. The next step will require you to infiltrate Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill.
Let's see, what do you want me to do there?
I want you to open a hatch in the basement of the derelict weather station atop Fortification Hill. You'll recognize it on sight. The hatch bears the logo of the Lucky 38, same as the platinum chip.
Let's see.
Something very important. I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise, so don't bother asking.
Sounds like a missile.
You can't, but the chip can. The hatch will recognize the platinum chip and open sesame.
Here's a good question.
I'm not offering you an incentive as crude as money, though there'll be plenty of that. What I'm offering you is a ground floor opportunity in the most important enterprise on Earth. What I'm offering is a future. For you, and for what remains of the human race. I expect that if Benny doesn't have the chip, Caesar will make sure you get it. More on that later. Be off.
Okay. So that moves the house always wins forward. Let's make a safety save. And let's see what happens when we open the antechamber.
Engaging target. Target.
So if we do that, we lose. The house always wins. Alright. And on top of that, I still don't see the snow globes. So I don't think the snow globes are there. Maybe the snow globes are down lower in the Lucky 38. Where else could they really be? definitely in Fallout 3 there was a specific, unique location where all of the bobbleheads went and were displayed.
Make your way to Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill. Something very interesting awaits you.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a nuclear missile and that he's planning on nuking somebody. Definitely feels like they should be right there. I don't know where else you would put them. Just look upward. See if they're hiding. Where am I going? In the wrong section. Well, I guess I give up on the snow globes. Let's go back downstairs.
Congratulations, boy. You can bring your friends too. Just bear in mind, you're the only one gets to see the ball. Enjoy the...
Okay. So let's see what the presidential suite looks like.
High roller suite.
Okay, so this is our area. This is our house, not Mr. House's house. So, what I should do is go and get my companions and bring them back in here. Take today's position and see everything breaks immediately. So if you wanted a house that was very nicely decorated, that's not going to happen. And that there is definitely going to just be random items in a bunch of places. And so the real question also is going to come down to what would be the closest location to the doors to drop a bunch of items off of, if this is now going to be our final location, or if it is it more entertaining. It probably is not more entertaining to put all the clothes, for instance, in wardrobes and all the weapons in a footlocker. What these kinds of games really would benefit from is Jake juice. Interesting. They definitely would benefit from having a sorter of some sort. Something that would take all the items and then just by pre-programmed reasoning sort it out. Okay, we have found the snow globe collection finally, and we now know that there are only 2 more snow globes to find from the looks of it, unless there's something more. Probably wouldn't hurt. I think these are poker chips, so I don't think you can actually pick them up. Probably wouldn't hurt to just pick up every item in the entire area. clean up the place. Less items loading in might mean a slightly faster loading section. So yeah, let's become overburdened and just take every single item we can find. I think we'll fairly quickly realize that's pointless and silly. With a nice big table. These house sections really do a great job highlighting how much garbage exists. So. And it's not like the game is going to respawn items, because then you would just have an infinite amount of money. A lot of these items are not repairable items, so it's not like you could get 5 pencils and then repair 1 pencil to be the best quality pencil. There is also noticeably no reloading bench. A lot of radios. No crafting bench, no reloading bench, nothing like that yet. I imagine I have to pay caps to get that. Yeah. But I also imagine the price is going to be insignificantly small. Theoretically, yes, you could drag an item to a shelf, but there is no menu interface for any of that. So you can't actually decorate the room the way you would like. I imagine if this is like Fallout 3, there will be a few themes you can go by, and that's about it. Right, upgrade the suite. So let's go with crafting locker 1, a fridge, guest wardrobe 1, master wardrobe 1, a vending machine, a weapon trunk, and a workbench. And we'll not pick up any of the 2s at the moment. So, the reason we're going to do that is to figure out where items would go. It does feel like the location to drop items will just be here. Yeah. And how over encumbered am I, by the way, as far as items go? Not that over encumbered. If I just repair pool cues, that'll fix it. Okay. Doesn't feel like anything changed in this room. Doesn't Feel like anything changed in this room. Some of this. Here's the vending machine, which in Fallout 3, if you had Nuka-Colas, would have turned them into ice cold Nuka-Colas. Let's also put in Sunset Sarsaparillas. See if that's the case. See if that does anything. Crafting workbench here. So I imagine he thought, yeah, it seems like they probably thought this through a little bit better this time. We will just clean everything away. So food and miscellaneous items for crafting go here. No reloading workbench from the looks of it though. Yeah. We will go ahead and buy the rest of this. And then, while we are here, let's sell some pointless things. What's pointless though? Yeah. Anything I think where you have a trash item might be worth selling. Two different types of metal cooking pots. Interesting. Still haven't figured out what Mayor Stin's Journal 2 of 2 was supposed to all be about. I think it might be wiser to just sell bullets. I feel like I should be able to sell a lot more than what I have here. But we will sell buff outs, we'll sell the drugs. Selling a bunch of drugs will help us. We probably have a decent amount of stim packs also. But I want to use the stim pack. I want to keep the stim packs. So it probably would make more sense to just sell super stim packs. If I was going to sell anything. And it still is not selling as much as I would like. Right, so my hope there is that we can come back now and we could upgrade the suite and we could sell more items, and there might be even a value of just putting items in the inventory like that.
Where to, partner?
Okay, casino, cocktail lounge, penthouse. Must be something. Must be a whole nother floor. Yeah. And so it definitely feels like you could just take everything. I don't know if there's huge value in that. Here we have the test site snow globe. Empty Nuka-Cola bottles. Yeah. It really does just play into that whole obsessiveness, though. And it's already too bright. So if I had a recycling ability, maybe getting all of these empty bottles would make sense. It really would drastically change how these games feel if you could break down all the items into some kind of base material, plastic, lead, metal, anything. I don't even know how you're actually supposed to reach these. I guess you just walk around on the top. This probably also speaks to the limits of just how much can you actually have in one location. Now I'm over encumbered, so unless we were going to drink ourselves to passing out, which is something we could do. Let's see what. Well, I actually don't think we have that much alcohol. Yep. So again, this is supposed to be an interesting perspective of the vistas, but all you're really seeing is the skybox, which is not interesting. You would think maybe you would come into this area and there might be people here. And you can pick up every single ashtray for one weight, then sell it at that one terminal to get a maximum 3,000 items. The problem with going past what the terminal has as far as the number of caps it has, though, is that at some point you would be selling items for free to the terminal, then you would have to pay for the privilege of taking the item out. Yeah. Yeah, and I just don't think the benefit of being able to put everything in the terminal and having a user interface that you could sort is going to be good enough. You could probably put miscellaneous junk in the terminal and not care about ever taking it out. But it would make a lot more sense if the terminal just sorted items into specific sub-lockers based on what kind of category the item is in. And once again, there's just nothing here except for the snow globe and some empty bottles and a couple of magazines. Yeah, I could totally run around this whole casino area. Right. Right, so let's just make sure.
Excuse me, but are you the courier who caused all of that trouble in the tops?
Yes?
Oh, great. The followers of the apocalypse, well, some of us anyway, have been interested in Mr. House's technology, how he stays alive. Of course, no one else is allowed inside the Lucky 38, so no one knows what's going on. Well, except for you. Right. We just want to find out what sort of technology Mr. House has used to stay alive for all these years. It could be of great benefit to the people we try to help, many of whom suffer from hard-to-diagnose illnesses.
We really would like them to be in charge.
Ah, I see. Great. I'll have the medical supplies for you by the time you come back. Here, take this packet sniffer. It'll allow us to intercept data on Mr. House's network. You might have to manually remove the encryption from his data network, but hopefully you won't have too much trouble. Good luck.
Naughty children. All right, dearie, let's go.
Flashing lights. Okay, so we now have a new quest. Bug an access point in the data network for the followers of the apocalypse. Which will go in here. And we'll go and do that. I would imagine it is the one we saw, I think. Where did we see it? I swear we saw an access terminal somewhere on this floor. And we'll want to do it sneakily if we can. Maybe it was up here. Yes, it was. Maybe make it a safety save.
Worry about me. Your grandma knows how to stay quiet.
I severely question if it isn't really a case that
Where to, partner?
Mr. House knows what's going on as far as him being bugged. let's talk to Rex. Rex has nothing in his inventory at the moment. Let's talk to Lily. Lily is carrying a massive amount of items. Which will over encumber us quite a bit. We have 2 workbench lockers and 2 refrigerators empty. So, first thing to do is to ask, can we actually craft anything? Cookery to metal. We're missing a pot. So it's basically food and items. That we need to build things. And I just kind of don't know how we would really go about this. The smartest move would be to take food that is considered actual food, yes, and stick it over here. And alcohol in the other one would be, I guess, what we would want to do. No matter how much garbage I pick up, though, I have actually gone out of my way to avoid picking up what I thought was the absolute most useless stuff. So, who knows if there isn't actually something I've missed just because I've been kind of picky. I think I may be missing several things here. Okay, well, then miscellaneous stuff. Absolute junk on the left. No, let's put absolute junk on the right. So I'm going to go through here and no, let's put absolute junk. Actually, still don't know what the schematics is all about. Let's see, unique items. Should be over here. These aren't unique enough items. The easiest thing to do would be to come over here. The easiest thing to do would be to stop being over encumbered by just repairing guns. And definitely, oh, that's the camera. Kodak camera. joke. Right. Weapon duplicates. What I would want to do is have an inventory here of just absolute garbage being dropped off here. And thus everything would be inventoried under that. And if I was to say sell a pair of binoculars, for instance, then I could filter between the different items. And thus this system is the system to go with. The problem with that, however, is all of these are going to cost something to take back out. They're going to charge me something, and overfilling the inventory of one item is not any better than overfilling the inventory of several different containers. Like, I don't think it's really programmed to handle the massive amounts of items you could really put in here if you're just going to be an OCD collector like I am being. So I think that means nothing here miscellaneous wise is taking weight, with the exception of lead and that and that. Some of these say 0, but if they have a value, they probably are also taking up weight, even if it's a really small amount. So we don't want to see anything with even, yeah, moving too fast. Right. Well then, still really not enough. So let's sell one gun there. And then sell one C4 plastic explosive. And that gets us to 55,000 caps. Yep. And so the next step that you're trying to organize here would be the question, is there a reason to put guns in the foot locker here? Or should you just drop everything in here and then maybe put faction items here? Yeah. You kind of just need a permanent. Here's your weapon trunk 1, here's your weapon trunk 2. So they're implying all weapons should go in here. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, ideally you would still want to sell a bunch of this. keep one of everything. I guess you can keep a bunch of the frag grenades, and we'll try and keep unique named weapons. Do I really need the shovel? You have two straight razors. One is higher quality than the other. So it would be faster. So the detonator, golden gloves. The rest of this needs to be sold. Then apparel wise, anything that would increase your speech and doesn't increase your defense, I think should go here. Anything that's just a dress up with no damage resistance, or DT, whatever DT stands for. And then unique outfits that are faction based will go in the other section. So very common things, or at least slightly common things. I think I missed some of them though. I was not doing things that actually gave you any defense. So these should be the dress up outfits. Why am I collecting all of this? Who knows? It doesn't seem like it really matters. And we'll keep one Vault 21 jumpsuit. Alright, and then faction iron weapons. Now, faction weapons and I guess defense weapons probably all go under that same category. Okay. If we were to buy drugs back, which don't have any weight, guess that is a way we can get some caps back. And then that lets me sell unimportant stuff. I don't think dynamite can be repaired, though. I guess maybe this does create a situation where we could come back and buy items. Yeah. There might be a trick here where we could come back and buy apparel if it's not in full form, repair it, and then sell it again, just to play games with the just to play games with the whole economics of the situation. Okay. We're selling too much because we're selling this sawed-off shotgun. So if we take that and we take that, I question if we're just gonna get anywhere close. I think we may be hundreds away. Selling too much. We need to buy something. We need to not sell, I guess, the drugs. Kind of confused as to what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm selling. Yeah, I guess I just don't care enough. We're wasting too much time on this. Let's just leave it at that. Oh. What I would have wanted to do is buy something. Yeah, I guess we buy the C4 back. And then we start buying the waitlist drugs back. There we go. We've got it close now. So, sell that, sell that, sell that. And sell that. You lose maybe 17 caps there. That's not a problem. So where are we on our weight? Now we are down to 52. Also didn't sell the former wear. Some of these items you kind of obviously can't sell by lowering here, the guns and bullets we can read. Might be worth it to take some of the drugs that would make me stronger too. Standard food. Put the cram in here. Also, alcohol, food, whole bunch of crafting things. So it seems like you'd run here for crafting, nowhere for reloading. It doesn't seem to me like Nuka-Colas, are going to be cooled, or Sunset Sarsaparillas are going to be cooled, but we'll leave them. If we look overall on our inventory, I really struggle to make anything lighter. And I know there's a perk that would make things over 10 pounds lighter and things under 1 pound lighter, but that puts your guns right in the middle of all that. 10 pounds, half their weight on the combat armor, might kind of be worth it, but probably not. There's still way too much inventory items. Way too many things that seem like they should be items specifically in the quests section. Like, if was the case, you would have a quest here and then the quest had a miscellaneous item attached to it and you could just press a button to see those attached items. That would be much better than your general items, which should be depicted here. Yep. Alcohol effects are going to take a while, I imagine, to wear off.
High roller, sweet.
Let's just ask a question though. Can we fast travel from this location back to Goodspring? No. No surprise there.
Where to, partner?
And can you leave?
Casino floor.
No. So you have to walk through a loading screen, effectively, to walk through another loading screen to get to this point.
Hey, have you been able to bug Mr. House's network yet? Good to hear. But it looks like the bug was deactivated a few minutes after it went online. It looks like House has some kind of countermeasure in place to prevent eavesdropping on his network. We'll get through eventually, just not today. Here are those medical supplies I promised. Hopefully you won't need to use them. Take care.
So that's that whole quest done.
Oh, hi. Thanks.
Let's ask
We
some
were
basic
connected
questions.
for half a minute, and it was all biometric data. It's fascinating. About
Pretend like we
NCR
care what she has
taxes
to
and
say.
There's not much. I'm interested in medicine. That's why I was helping out with. After 2 tries, I think I've learned enough. Oh yeah. True. All right. The first try was a little less professional. Someone important on the strip had access to some of House's technology. Specifically, a Securitron. And more specifically, the someone was Benny.
So they worked with Benny.
I know. He shot you in the head and everything. But this was a while ago. I knew he was sleazy, but I didn't realize he was so cold-blooded.
So we'll get some more information. We may just get a level up here before the end of today's episode.
Benny was pretty tight-lipped and cryptic about the thing, but he did let me poke around in it for a while. I wound up helping Benny a lot more than he helped me. Once he had access to the Securitron's memory banks, he kicked me out of the tops. Big surprise, right? Should have seen that coming. The Securitron was disabled somehow. Might have been an EMP given some of the damage I saw. Anyway, he wanted it re-enabled and connected to Mr. House's data network. The trick was getting it to be invisible on the network. If Mr. House detects a rogue Securitron in his system, he remotely fries it. Getting around that security feature was a bit tricky. Yeah, strange as it sounds, I figured that bad-mouthing one of the Strip's most powerful people wasn't a good idea. The only reason why I'm telling you any of this...
Okay.
What? Alright.
So you don't get the XP twice.
No.
If you do a speech check twice. Okay. Spring Mountains State Mount Ranch State Park. Yeah, there wasn't really anything there. The whiskey is worn off. We could go to this. Now, it kind of sucks you don't have a Mojave Express in your house. These tumbleweeds are interesting that they programmed them, but they don't use them. You would think it would make some sense for the tumbleweeds to be used to clear out minefields or something like that. Right. So the question is, at 56 pounds, how over-encumbered do I become when I pick up that alone? This would just be all of our guns. The logical move is to also see if there's anything that can be repaired or maintained, but there really shouldn't be much of anything that can be repaired or maintained. So that's 475 pounds, which, yeah, a better quality gun than what is actually being equipped. Let's just go with everything. Let's see, can we talk to Lily? Come on, Rex, move out of the way. Fine, yeah. If that's the way you want to move out of the way, move out of the way that way. Don't even care.
Grandma's got a present for you.
Okay.
Didn't your mother ever Didn't your mother?
Okay, so she is now over encumbered too. So then the question would be, can we handle outfits? No. And we should be taking outfits in particular anyways. Because I'm the only one that can carry specific outfits. And nothing is going to get my strength up that high. It's just not going to work. Let's see. So let's see if we can maybe leave some of the heavier items. Yeah, we'll leave all the NCR stuff. And that'll get us close. We're just 90 pounds away now. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some Brotherhood of Steel items. Do we not have a power armor? We have powder gang stuff. Did I must have really given all the power armor to Veronica. Well, Just find some heavier items. But this is going to come down to the exact pound. Yep. Oh, and this is going to suck so much. And I think I'm just going to highlight the process here, and then I'm going to do the rest of this off screen. Yeah. Because you have to fast travel to the strip. Then you have to transfer to this. Then load into this. Which, guess we don't have to talk to Victor to get to that point. Companion dismissal terminal. You do have to talk to Victor to get to this point. Alright. While you would love everything to be in here, I would have to buy back something. Yeah, and I could buy back just a few drugs. And that's about it. Or I'm just going to start losing caps like crazy. But at a certain level, I probably am losing caps like crazy anyways. Right. So you will go through here, and anything that isn't actually defensive, I will sort into one closet. These powder gang outfits are worthless. I didn't realize that. And there is probably an argument here that once I get my repair up to 100, I might want to just go through all of these items and see if there's some reason to merge items together. It all comes off. I want to keep at least one of each of the vault items. And we'll keep all the vault items together. Of course. Obviously I'm being obsessive here. Totally being obsessive. The bigger issue, didn't even handle this right, did I? Weight is getting down to like 5. Didn't talk to these guys and get the inventory from them. So although that may not matter too much because I think these guys just have weapons. Yep. But I've also put all of my weapons away in a kind of bad spot. So now I'd have to sort through these and just see what weapons have a high enough damage per second to matter. This gun does. This one does. And then enable specifically named weapons also should go in here. And everything else I think goes away. I feel like C4 belongs in here. I feel like this chainsaw might be unique. Detonator is somewhat unique. Are any of these doing enough damage? I'm not paying attention to the damage. Yeah, there definitely is an issue here where it seems like a lot of these weapons are not of any real level even halfway through the game. I'm only at level 30 out of 50, so let's say that is 3/5 of the way through the game. I shouldn't have the vast majority of all my weapons be so useless. That light machine gun is going to be my new default weapon. I've got some carbine weapons here that are seemingly doing as much damage as a rocket launcher. Pulse grenades. Pulse grenades and things like that may play a major role as far as EMP bonus against robots if we're going to end up doing a lot of fighting against robots, which I think may be the case. Satchel charge. Shovel. And then silence guns just don't make sense to me. Particularly having two companions. I'll keep the sniper rifle. We haven't seen too many of those. Throwing spears. Vance's 9mm submachine gun. I should be using that. Well, why am I not using that? We're just going to drop the rest of these weapons in here. So I do think there is a question here, and it would really be nice if you could hit right and select weapons trunk 2. Yep. If we have 2 of something, we should take it and we should sell it. Yeah. That's really the only way I'm gonna have enough caps. We should leave the items with the less value to them. It does come off very much though like the Gunrunner's Arsenal DLC is going to have Gunrunners fill the entirety of the map, where you can trade and sell items. And I don't think we would have anything different here. I'm gonna just take Vance's 9mm submachine gun and see if that works. Lily's inventory is now empty. So is his inventory. And then looking at the wardrobe. We will take anything we happen to have a couple of. Of course, I'm grabbing things both to repair them and to sell them. I have to assume that these sunglasses are different than these sunglasses, but these sunglasses are the same as the other sunglasses. Okay. Some of these weapons are probably getting repaired just a little bit. Let's actually just give everything here away. And fill up our inventory that way. I think we can sell the weapons that we know need to sell. Then I need the armor I was wearing. What was it called? At one point I was wearing the Armored Vault 13 jumpsuit. Leather armor reinforced. Oh, I might be in trouble here because I might have taken off some armor that was actually very good and lost its defense ability. Yeah. Unless I somehow squeezed it in here, which I don't think I would have. Well, Vault 34 security helmet and security armor must have been what I was wearing. Oh, this is way too much menu hero. Let's see if we can possibly rebuy some weightless drugs so that we can sell some pointless guns. The guns I am carrying are too valuable. Could not buy the scotch. I guess that's probably the best way to do this. That lost me about 4 caps. I think that puts us in a pretty good position. We've got some guns to sell if we can find somebody else to sell to. Then we have our equipment here, and my weight is only 65. The big problem is that this really is just the beginning again. Like, off screen, I need to go, or I have this obsessive need that I really don't need to do, to go back to Good Springs, pick up even more things that we've been keeping in that inventory spots, to just bring them over to this house, to try and organize for no real reason. And that's pretty much my experience every time I play a Bethesda game. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. Keep on watching. Thanks.